Previously on Coupled with Chaos Personal Podcast.
So I'm still waiting. I'm near the gardening area. Finally, I go grab somebody. And for me, this is a big deal.
Yeah, you actually had to talk to a person.
Right. I'm just not good in this situation of, just approaching people and saying I need help. But I go and they open it up. And now, meanwhile, it's probably been 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes since I saw the trimmer that I needed. And I'm standing in front of it for 15 minutes and I can't get there. I can't get in it.
I can so relate.
So I'm not happy. I go get to the guy, and at this point, I don't want interaction with the guy. What do I want?
The trimmer.
I want the trimmer. So we get there, and he opens it up, and he goes, well, this one doesn't come with a battery. Yes, I know. He said, well, do you already have a battery? I said, can I just have the trimmer, please? And so I take the trimmer, and I put it in the basket. Because I really, at this point, I don't need you to try to be helpful. Helpful would have been 15 minutes ago.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Coupled with Chaos.
So we got a comment on Patreon today. It was some reference you had. We were doing Match Me Abroad, and somebody said something about you and the way you said whatever. And so for us, look, it's like our life, we would say it's like a sitcom, would you not?
Yeah.
It is. There's just stuff going on. It's not like a Seinfeld thing, but there's just always stuff, right?
Right.
I think for us, everybody's life has these things in them. We're not unique. We all have the normal things that happen. And for us, we have like catchphrases that turn out to roll through our house, right? It was, I think the biggest one on the podcast is I don't like your tone, right?
Right.
Which has evolved into, it's not anything to do with your tone because nobody ever speaks to each other with an odd tone.
Right.
Maybe sometimes.
Well, sometimes.
But that's evolved from somebody who in my business world who didn't like something that I wrote. And what they said is they couldn't disagree with it, but they didn't like my tone. And so we didn't address the issue. We just addressed the tone of my correspondence, in which I thought was funny, right? And so that evolved into whenever you don't like something, you just respond. And not just you, a person responds with, I don't like your tone. And so
in the house.
Right, we know what that means.
And hey now is another one.
Hey now
that makes me laugh still to this day.
Is definitely something. And hey now is a borrowed catchphrase from
but it's the way we use it.
It's from the Larry Sanders Show, and Howard Stern has used it. Hey now is just, it's whatever it is. For us, it has its own unique thing.
Its own meaning, right.
We can be watching a movie or a show, and somebody looks at somebody. I would say generally two people interested in each other, right, would look at each other in a certain way.
And we go, hey now.
Hey now, right. And so that's what hey now means for us. And so whatever has evolved, I think, in the last, 3 or 4 months for us into something that's surely used every day. For you, I think even for us, we've been involved with shelter dogs.
Right.
And you would tell me, because I cannot do this, like you actually are involved in every dog in one way or another.
Yes.
All of them. And this is Fort Worth. This isn't, I don't want to make light of a small town, but this is not a small town.
No, it's not.
There are a lot of dogs.
It's like 1 million people.
And you'll say something to me about a dog. You say, well, this dog just came in and they noted it as aggressive, is what you'll say to me. And I'll go, well, whatever.
Because exactly.
Because we know that they spent 8 seconds with this dog.
Right. And they caught it with a catch pole and dragged it inside to a bunch of strangers. And in 5 minutes, because it resisted it and growled at them, it's now on the list.
Yes. We're going to put this dog down because it's aggressive.
Right.
And I'll go, whatever.
And that brings us to Harper. who was on the list for growling at a staff member. And she's like the funnest, most excited, loving dog.
Sure.
She's so fun.
And it's anything. And I think, I'm not a fan of sarcasm. I don't know how that plays, and I don't know how I normally am. But I don't
You're the most sarcastic person I've ever met.
I don't like
I used
sarcasm.
to get on you for how sarcastic you were because
while we were in a disagreement, maybe, right? I think when we're not in the best place and something happens, maybe some sarcasm comes out. I don't like sarcasm. I think sarcasm
it's rude.
In humor, I think sarcasm is lazy, right? Mm-hmm. But whatever is about the most sarcastic thing in our thing.
Yes.
That you can actually say, whatever for us it's completely dismissive of whatever you've said. I think we say it. You come to me and you go, I'm tired, I barely slept. And I go, what do I say?
Whatever.
Whatever. Right, it's whatever.
Because you're the 5-hour guy.
Right, maybe 5 hours, right?
Every day.
For me, 5 hours is if I hit 5:01, like, this is a good day.
It's a banner day.
I made it, and I may not need like a nap. So for us, that's what whatever means, right? It could be like for our boy, we say dinner is ready, and he'll say, I'm coming. And your reaction,
give me a minute, is what I usually get. Right. I go, whatever.
Whatever. And so it's just kind of you'll go, I don't know, something happens to my thumb, and then you'll go, oh, my knee, and I'll go, like, whatever. So it's just always back and forth with whatever that it is. And so whatever for us has just turned into its own thing. Mm-hmm. And I think when we do these things, you don't really even realize it. Because it is an internal,
so ingrained in our
family, catchphrase. And I know it's just probably, I'm not always on, but I'm on a lot, right? And so this stuff just happens. And so I think somebody said something about Mastery Abroad and your statement of whatever. And, we record a lot of stuff, and I don't spend any time legitimately. I spend 0 time editing, right?
Right.
I just take it with what we've said.
Yeah.
I turn it around
and
I upload it, and it's done.
And we've always done that.
So I think there's people who listen to like every minute and take out the uhs, and I think we say a lot of right. I feel like
you do, yes.
Yeah, I feel like we do a lot of that.
You say it too much.
I don't like your tone.
It's something you started at work and you brought it home, and I find it irritating, but there's no point in saying anything because it's already ingrained in you. It's like everything you say is followed by that.
Do not like your tone.
Just so you know how often you use it.
I think I use it as dismissive, and it's like a filler word.
Right.
So, see, you just did it.
No, but that's saying correct. You do it as you make a statement, right? It's just something that, like, people go, I think it's my I think it's my exactly.
And so I've probably got out of and I just say right.
Like some people insert every sentence, and you do it with right.
I don't like your tone. Desperately. I don't know where I was headed with this, but other than somebody had commented about whatever, and it's
or catchphrases.
Yeah, and it isn't like it's something that we purposely do. We literally turn on the mic and record. And so this kind of stuff, it's just what happens. So it's like for you, I think, you're doing your Walmart order for delivery or pickup or whatever you're doing. And, they say they have something. And then you get it. And it's not there, It's like,
right.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right. Whatever. Right? It's whatever. Guess what? They said they had this and they don't. It's like, whatever.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
It annoys me so badly. Because the whole point of ordering is to avoid having to go to the store. But you don't get half your order, and then you still have to go to the store.
Yeah.
Now you've waited for your stuff, and you actually need it for a meal by the time they can deliver it, and then you still have to go out. And so it's annoying.
It's annoying. Like me.
I haven't ordered in a while, in case you haven't noticed.
I know. I went there today. Because I had to pick up something for my thumb.
Well, you know why I do more shopping there myself now, even though I've always detested Walmart?
I think it's because
of the scan and go.
Oh, the scan and go. I thought it was because you like the people in the parking lot, and you're hunting for the lady in the parking lot that liked your pants.
To tell me
that you had your hey now pants on.
I had my hey now pants on, yeah.
Right.
I will tell you, and I did not share this.
What? I don't like your tone here.
But when I was shopping on Monday, I find it hysterical that at 53, people still flirt with me.
What? I should hear about these things.
So I was at
No one
Lowe's.
flirts with me. I don't like that.
This
is sarcastic in your laugh.
I am 53. I wear zero makeup, and my hair's the same every day.
Your son's children, your son's friends believe that you're his grandmother.
Yes, on the daily. They laugh actually because I'm so old. Because their parents gave birth as teenagers, and I was almost 36 when I had him.
Right.
But
whatever.
On top of that, I have gained weight after all my surgeries because I can't exercise anymore because I just hurt myself. Mm-hmm. And it cost us thousands of dollars, so it's not worth it. And I have bad feet now because of my tendon problems, and I have to wear sneakers with everything, even dresses. And yet, here I am in Lowe's on Monday, desperately shopping for a refrigerator.
We're going to get into that later. But yes.
This lady was helping me. And
that's a shocker. Don't go to Home Depot.
While I'm looking, this big, tall fella walks by. And actually, he walks by in a hurry. And he actually walked backwards.
Wow. Hey now.
And then stopped and looked at me. Yeah, it was. And said, "Excuse me, may I just tell you that you look lovely in that color? Or that color looks lovely on you."
Wow. This didn't come up. This tells you what kind of week we've had? Because this would be normally a topic of conversation for us.
Yeah, I decided to save this for the podcast.
I'm glad this came up in some way because literally there's nothing like written down. There's no plan here. Mic on, go. The things that we forget or miss probably
we've been so busy. It's crazy.
Better than maybe we should. You know what we should do is we should have somebody and we tell them the stories and then they remind us during the show. But that would mean we'd actually have to pay somebody, and we don't. We're not paying anybody. We don't make any money.
I want my $5.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I mean, the lengths I went to save money on this purchase also.
Right. And you could have got yourself some on the time,
Apparently. Yeah. And then he comes back later and says, "Was somebody helping you?
So this was an employee?
Help with anything?" This turned out to be an employee. I didn't know until he came back later and asked me if I had any questions.
At Home Depot, I am wearing what is a pair of jeans. Here's my normal attire. Maybe it's a button down long sleeve. I think this day it was a long sleeve shirt, button collar, jeans, brown slip on Doc Martens. I can get nobody to help me, even when I go into the app and ask for help 3 times. No one comes and helps me. But
a customer comes to you and says, "Might I just tell you that your butt looks lovely in those jeans?"
Right. No one has said that to me ever. What were you wearing when this happened? This is great because I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, what was I? It was blue. I had on blue dress.
You had a dress on.
I wear dresses all summer, as you know, because it's freaking hot here, I need air circulating because I'm sweaty.
I don't get that. I think
it runs down my legs in the summer. I'm so sweaty.
An awkward situation on the construction site.
Yeah, but this wasn't like a pretty dress. It wasn't even like the dress I had on today. It was like a cheap little dress that tied in the middle, but it was all, a one-piece thing with like cap sleeves, plain blue, not decorative in any way, didn't even have a V-neck. I got it at like...
this is like a Little House on the Prairie school marm thing you're wearing.
Yeah, I got it at like Sam's Club. It's like a comfy, thing to the knee. And that's it. Almost like a sweatshirt type.
I would have to tell you that your knees aren't, I don't even have to say this. Your knees are not showing.
Correct. Right. I do not show my knees.
Right. So everything you do is below the knees.
Yes. And I prefer ankle length dresses, like on top of my shoes. And
I did not hear this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I want you to do is take a picture of this guy. I'm assuming that I didn't ask.
Guy.
My assumption is this. You did say it was a guy, so that's fine.
It was a guy.
So this
it wasn't a girl this time.
This wasn't an employee. Yeah, you do not. You're not. There's no gender that cares whether or not what you're wearing.
Yeah, apparently not. I mean, I get hit on by both genders.
I got to step up my game.
Get that at all.
That's something else. I did not know this.
Yeah, this was at Lowe's. Yeah, and so imagine my shock when, I was there hours, right? Because I'm researching on my phone, and I'm looking, up customer reviews, and I'm doing my research. And
maybe
so I was in this.
Liked your research. You're a lady that does research.
Well, that's what the lady who was my salesperson said, was that she appreciated that I did my research. That was smart.
You're just trying to save them time.
She said, I sold one of these to this other fridge. I said, I like the look of this one, but it's got crap reviews. And she said, I just sold one of these to my best friend's son. I was like, she said, well, he hadn't had any issues. I go, well, apparently these things are going to happen at some point. And I gave her a list. She's like, oh, no.
Yeah, I don't want to say don't buy LG stuff, but we're going to say this podcast has completely gone off track. This is not where I intended it to go, but that's good.
I take this back, though. This was at Home Depot.
Oh.
Because that's where I did all the research, and that's where I was for so long. I decided which fridge I wanted at Home Depot. And then I left, and I went to Lowe's to get a better deal.
We were
Home Depot last week. And so I wasn't at Lowe's for a long time. I went in and made a purchase.
I don't remember if it was the beginning or the end about my Home Depot story. So here's what we're going to do is just pretend we're talking to subscribers only because they know all the stories.
But this makes this an even better story, doesn't it? That it was at Home Depot where you can't even get help, and I had all kinds of people trying to help me.
This sucks so bad. This makes me very angry. Very angry. I hope... I guess, look, we're all off track now. Like my intention
wasn't even his department, because I was with the person from the department.
Talk about my thumb. Like I have a loose plan. My intention was to talk about my thumb and then the rest of it. But I'm going to stop here and tell you about Home Depot because I went to Home Depot yesterday.
Oh, I haven't heard this story.
I had to go get a brush for the dryer vent, right? So I did that.
Right, and I can't wait to do laundry again to find out if we fix the problem finally.
Yeah. So I ran this up there, and again, you probably pay somebody $100 to come and rot out your dryer vent, right?
Yes.
$20. I got the brush, put it on my drill, and I ran this. So this isn't going to be a problem anymore.
Okay, good.
But just in general,
this has been a significant.
So I'm at Home Depot, and I'm going to pretend like, because I don't, again, because we just turn this on and go, I don't know where I cut the line off in stories between subscribers and only, just free stuff. But I'm at Home Depot yesterday. I get this. I pick up a blower trimmer combo, and I check out. And as I'm about to check out, I see the guy who helped me with a wire.
Oh, boy.
So he's at the self-checkout area, probably getting some wire for some other guy. And so I start to go, I want to go to the actual checkout, but there's like 3 people there. So I said, I can handle the self-checkout. But I go in there and I look, and that guy's in there. He just escorted somebody else in there. I go, I do not want to see this other guy, this guy I dealt with last week. It was the nicest guy around, but I just don't want, I don't want to acknowledge this thing, right? I kind of got on him because last week I went, look, I never come here, and I come here.
You talked about that.
And this is an ordeal. So my thought is, exactly 1 week later, I'm here again, and there's the guy, and we had such an exchange that there's no way that he's not going to recognize me. And here I am a week later.
Yeah, because you were being I'm an old crotchety guy, get off my lawn person.
And so he's going to recognize me.
So he's going to remember that.
So I go, and look, you know me, I don't like interactions and people in public places and strangers.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to anybody.
So I go past the self-checkout, and then I circle backwards, and I go back then to the regular checkout. It's not any better. So I stand there, and I'm watching this guy. And he's still in there, and I see him leaving, like he's headed back towards the way. So I take off my glasses. You know, we've talked about my glasses being different now. So I take my glasses off, and I surely was wearing one of my long sleeve shirts because it would have had a pocket in it. So I took my glasses off because I figured my glasses are recognizable. Like you would identify me by my glasses now. So I took them off, and I put them in my pocket. And I said, I'm going to get past this guy because I'm not going to
And he recognized you.
Yeah, he immediately recognized me. He said, this is what he said, glad to see you again.
Oh, so you are being flirted with.
No, this was not that. But
he wasn't in a husky voice.
No, this was. I can tell you that this is one of the nicest. To be honest, this is one of the nicest people I've probably seen in a customer service thing. Right? He's probably 24, 25. He, like I said, foreign born, probably Eastern European. He was really a nice guy. But I just don't want to deal with this now. So I looked at him, I nodded, and I went through and did my thing. But he saw me, and despite me taking my glasses off, he still recognized me without the glasses.
That means you had a memorable interaction.
So it doesn't just take a weird dress to make this happen. Yeah, I'd probably made a lasting impression on this guy. So this was so I got my thing, and I came back, and so and I'm going to tell you, it took me probably 3 to 5 minutes longer in Home Depot to avoid this guy. And for me, honestly, it's better to spend those 3 to 5 minutes to avoid this guy than it would be for me to deal with this guy in 10 seconds. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like as a person, this doesn't make sense to you at all. You're just blowing through everything. You don't care. You're running through whatever situation you deal with. But for me, this was at least probably 5 minutes of angst.
Yeah.
And I struggled with it. And then for him to spot me as he walked past me, I'm like, ugh. And he was a nice guy. And I think in a normal situation.
Do you feel bad now? Do you feel bad that you gave him a hard time? And he's so nice.
Well, I didn't give him a hard time. I gave his company a hard time.
Well, which is giving him a hard time because he's like, man, I'm never going to make this guy happy. He is so cranky. Let me get him out of the store.
I was never rude to him, and I understood. And so clearly with him the whole time last week, it was about the situation. You were venting your
frustration.
Yes, but it was never. I told him even then how helpful he was. But he had to do what he had to do. So I was never...
But you know what it's like when you're at work and somebody's just fussing.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, I got enough of my own stuff to fuss about. I don't need to listen to your fussing.
I just want out. And I just wanted to get my wire. And I just wanted to leave.
Funny.
And here we are again. Now, I could have gone to Lowe's, and I considered that. But here's what I knew.
Well, I need you to go to Lowe's because I have a $25
I have to
credit
tell
to
you,
spend.
though, but from my trip last week, I knew that the trimmer and the blower that I was going to go for, in addition to the brush, I'd already researched, and the brush was in stock and there. I already knew from last week that the trimmer and blower for the 20-volt DeWalt system was not behind locked doors. It was not behind a cage. It was in a display because I was there last week. And so I knew that I could get that, and I could get the duck rotter with a brush. I could get it without needing to talk to somebody. So this was
so funny. And you would research this ahead of time because it's so important to you not to have to deal with anyone.
Yeah, I was there last week, and so you know what it is to have to talk to somebody.
Right.
And so when I went to check out, the same lady who we'd had the battle with about the UPC code was also the one, and maybe she remembered it too, because as I came into the self-checkout lane with this big yellow box, she jumped in and took charge of the situation. I didn't scan anything.
Instead of you finding
other than
the
she
right
even
code.
hit the buttons on the screen for me to check out. But at that point, it was like pay only, and I knew I needed to go back because I needed to provide my military discount so that I could get the time off, the money off, because I knew this is important.
Yes.
So I did
especially on a
spend
big purchase.
extra time there to get my 10% off. I want my $22.
That's right. I could not get the discount at either store, even though we have the discount at both stores, because it does not apply to major appliances.
I get that. And we're going to talk about that when we come back.
Thank you for listening.
You can listen to the rest of this episode
By subscribing to our Coupled with Chaos channel on Apple,
by subscribing to our Patreon
or by subscribing to our Supercast,
for $3.99 a month.
where you can hear us talk about reality shows,
Real life and more on our podcasts.
covering shows airing on TLC, A&E, Bravo, and the WE Network.
Just follow the instructions in the show notes
Tell your friends about this podcast.
and rate and review us on your favorite podcast player.
Follow us at Coupled with Chaos on all the socials.
Or contact us directly by email at coupledwithchaos@gmail.com.